Creationists believe that our world is only 6,500 years old, and we're all descended from Adam and Eve. And then God drowned the world in a great flood about 4,500 years ago, and we're all descended from Noah's family, and all the land animals on our world are descended from those that were on the ark. Therefore, the following must apply. God must have arranged all the geology in particular strata and all the fossils throughout the world in order to ensure that no fossils are ever found in anachronistic layers. For example, there are no mammalian or avian fossils in the Cambrian strata. He also cleverly linked the DNA of all living things on this planet just to confuse us. During the flood, he must have temporarily revoked photosynthesis, osmosis, and pressure, thus permitting marine, freshwater, and sunlight-dependent aquatic creatures to survive conditions that would have been far outside their normal range and lethal. If he had not done so, all the plankton in the oceans would have been dead in a few days, thus completely destroying the marine food chain. After the water subsided, he must have transported flightless and non-marine animals to remote locations such as Australia and New Zealand. These would include koalas, emus, kiwis, tiger and many others. It's worth noting that the species mentioned don't occur anywhere else on our planet. In order to feed all the animals that came off the ark, God must have magically provided vegetation and prey for all of them on their treks to their eventual homes. Unless, of course, he magically moved them all there as they exited the ark. They would still have needed to eat, though, while they bred and replenished their numbers without somehow suffering catastrophic problems caused by inbreeding. God must have also planted evidence for human occupation that seems to have occurred prior to his magical act of creation. There are many such sites in Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia, and the Americas. Only the remote Pacific Islands don't have such evidence. He must also have planted extensive evidence for Neanderthal occupation. God must have also suspended the usual nasty issues caused by inbreeding in humans, while they procreated like mad to re-establish a functional population. How else could we all be descended from just 8 people in under 5,000 years? The growth in population must have been very rapid in order to provide the numbers to build the pyramids in Egypt, as well as to establish the large empires in Mesopotamia, China, and Southeast Asia. Some observations. Does any of the above sound likely or even slightly plausible? It should be pointed out that the myths in the Bible originate in a very small area of our world. They were created by people that had no understanding of photosynthesis, osmosis, pressure, the water cycle, or global geography. Their understanding of geology was very limited. They did not know about Australia, New Zealand, the Americas, or the polar regions. They did not therefore take any of these into account in their narratives. Clearly, God didn't provide information. To me, the conclusion is obvious. The creation and flood stories are myths. They bear no relationship to the truths clearly laid out for us in the various sciences.